Okay, so today I have a 5th generation 60 gigabyte iPod. Now what the owner tells me is wrong with this one is the center button is stuck. There's no click to it. So first of all, let's take a look at this thing and let's make sure everything else works before we get into it. No problem with the LCD screen. I'll have to reach out to them and make sure that they don't want that replaced as well. All right, let's see. So now we're in. Scroll wheel works. The center button does work, it just does not click. Menu button works. Okay, let's check the headphones and let's see if everything else works. Okay, both sides of the headphones work. Play pause works. Next works. Previous works. Menu button works. And the hold switch works. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, this iPod does work. I'm going to message the owner regarding the LCD screen and see if it's something that they want to replace. I mean, clearly the iPod, it's functional. I mean, it doesn't take away from it. It just looks atrocious. And I have to mention it because, obviously, I don't know if this happened before, if it happened in transit, or what the deal is, but I don't want to get caught with my pants down in a sense if I send this thing back without mentioning anything and he says, oh, hey, what's this down here? It wasn't like that before I sent it. So, yeah, okay. So I will message him, and in the meantime, we will open it up and see what we can do. Okay, so I did talk to the owner of this iPod about the LCD screen issue, and they said they just use it in the car. They really don't care. They just use it for Apple Play and control it from their dashboard. So as long as they can see it, it's fine. So we won't do anything with the LCD. So we'll just take care of this center button issue. So the first thing we want to do is remove the casing from this iPod. Now, as I've said in many of my other videos, you do not want to just rip off this battery cable right here. If you do that, you risk actually pulling off the battery connector from the motherboard, which would need to be resoldered on. So to do that without risking any damage, you take a spudger, hold it down here, hold the clip down, take tweezers, and just pull up on the battery cable. Okay, so the first thing we want to do now that we have it open, we want to release the aux port clip here. Really, you can just kind of pull up on that with your nail, just like so, and then you just pull the ribbon cable out. And the next thing we want to do, release the battery cable. So we just pull that black clip up like so. Take the, I remember if I just said battery, hard drive. This is a hard drive, not a battery. Okay. So move this stuff out of the way. So the next thing we need is a Phillips screwdriver. Unzoom. Okay, so there's 6 screws that we need to remove, 3 on each side. Okay, now that all screws are out, we need to pull this cover off so you can push your thumbs down on the click wheel, then use these fingers to kind of pull up on the case, just like that. Okay, so we'll take this guy off. It was like really stuck. Okay, so yep, that's the issue right there. So what happens is each of these pads has these little rising, I don't know, like little cushion things on it. So what it does is there's a little button, like a little button sticking out in the very center of this piece of plastic right here. And what that does is when it's pressed, it actually presses down on this, which presses down on the button. So when this kind of falls off to the side, that's where you get that the click button not working. You know, not getting that click sensation feel that you would get, because the button itself is fine. You can hear it. Maybe. There you go. So really all we just got to do is we just need to move this pad back to the center. I can get it. There we go. Okay, back to the center. Okay, all we got to do now is put this guy back in. There we go. And fit that in here. There we go. There we go. Click function restored. All buttons feel good. Now we can put the screws back in. Okay, that is back together. Okay, so next we need to reseat this aux port cable. Okay, so now we just need to slip it back in this connector like that. And then we close the latch. And then next we need to raise up this battery connector. So take your spudger, hold down on the white part, because if you just kind of stick this thing in here and try to raise it up, you could actually dislodge. You can rip the battery connector off the motherboard, kind of like the same scenario if you didn't use the spudger to hold it down when removing it. Okay, so hold that down with the white part, come in here with your handy dandy paperclip tool, come around the back side, just kind of pry up like so till you hear that click. Unzoom. Okay, now let's put the it's the second time I've called it a battery. Hard drive. Put the hard drive back in. Get the cable seated and then close the black clip like that. Put the hard drive back in its slot. Close the casing up, fit the battery cable back in its spot. Once the battery is back in the connector, press down on the connector. And let's see if she turns up. Oh, the battery's dead. Okay. Yeah, the battery didn't have any juice before we started. So we'll let this run for a couple minutes. Make sure that it actually has enough juice for me to pull the cable out real quick, just to ensure that the battery has a proper connection to the motherboard providing charge so it can run. Okay, let's unplug it and see if it keeps going. Okay, it stays on, so it is providing power to the iPod. So let's plug it back in so she doesn't die on us while we do the rest of our testing. Okay, artists. Pick something at random. Okay, both headphone sides work. Play pause works. Next works. Previous works. Menu works. Center works. And the hold button works. Okay, so that's all good. Let's pull that out. Let's put it back together. And really at this point, all we got to do is just push it back together. Let's plug it back into charge. Make sure that's good. Let's just check one more time just to make sure that when we close the iPod, we didn't pinch any cables or anything like that. Okay, both headphones work. Play pause works. Next works. Previous works. Menu works. Center button works. And hold switch works. Holy crap, that's loud. Okay, guys, that will about do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you later.